Hello, BookTube. So this time around, you only get me. I'm going to start my cozy mystery reviews today. It's actually not a review; it's a author visit. Um, when we were talking earlier this month, talking about doing this, I was planning to do a list of my 5 favorite cozy mystery authors, and then I was going to do a cozy author every month. But after thinking about it, I realized I still have these 3 shelves of cozy mysteries up here that I haven't read. And I felt like it would be kind of silly to do my 5 favorite authors when I haven't read enough of a selection. It turns out it's a good thing, because I just started an audiobook a couple of days ago. It's the Magical Bake Shop mysteries that I am absolutely falling in love with. So she might make my list later. So I'm going to, for a few months, go ahead and do a different author every month, at the beginning of every month. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to visit all of their works as much as I can. Over the month previous, I'm going to read as many of their works as I possibly can, and then do a review of their works in their entirety. And then next month I'll pick another author, and so on and so forth. And at the end of all that, I'll do my 5 favorite cozy author mysteries. 5 favorite cozy mysteries authors. And I know what I'm trying to say. And I'll have a bigger selection under my belt by then. So my first cozy mystery visit is going to be with Kate Carlisle. We all know I love Kate Carlisle. She's the author of TheBibliophile Mysteries, which there they are. That's the first one, Homicide in hardcover. And then she also, come back to me, she also has the Fixer Upper series, which This Old Homicide is the first of that series. And those are the only 2 series she has so far. She's written a couple of Harlequins. I haven't gotten around to reading those yet, but they're on Scribd, so I plan to jump on those as soon as possible. Scribd is another reading service that you pay a monthly fee, and they have a lot of audiobooks and a lot of written books. So it's a very, very good subscription service. So we'll start with the Bibliophile series. The first of the Bibliophile books was written, I think, in 2009. And I actually read that book. It was Homicide in hardcover. I actually read that book the year it came out, and I've been reading her ever since, because I've been in love with her ever since. The Bibliophile series is about Brooklyn Wainwright. She lives in California. She's a bookbinder, which just does my little bibliophile heart good. And she's in San Francisco. Brooklyn Wainwright is the daughter of hippies. She grew up in a commune that turned into a foodie and wine lover destination in California, in wine country. And one thing that I absolutely love about this series is I adore all of the characters. They're all just so well-rounded, so interesting. The first book, Homicide in hardcover, it is about Brooklyn. She discovers the body of her mentor dead, and the hunky MI6 agent who's investigating the case just is absolutely certain she did it. Derek Stone is. And, well, of course he's the romantic interest. All these cozy mysteries, I think it's part of the coziness that they have that one really good romantic interest. And Derek Stone is he's a cut above the rest. He's such a great character. But that's another interesting thing about Brooklyn. She's surrounded by people who love her. It gives you a very warm and fuzzy feeling. It's just sort of the coziest of cozy mysteries, if you know what I mean. So, Kate Carlisle does something that is kind of quintessential to cozy mysteries. Usually, a lot of cozy mysteries revolve around cooking. You have bake shops, you have cookie shops, you have muffin shops, you have I think there's one that an old ambulance turned catering service. And because, well, Brooklyn can't cook to save her life. Like, it's awful. And the technical aspects of a lot of people actually complain about them because, well, she's a bookbinder, and she goes into the technical aspects of her art, and I find it fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I can't get enough of it. She talks about the books, about the paper she uses for her end pages, about the types of glue that she uses. She goes over everything she's doing. She always has her little bag of Hershey's Kisses off to the side. So she's such a great author. Kate Carlisle is such a fantastic author. She really brings that to life. And another thing that I've noticed that people really complain about is I've looked at great reads, and a lot of people complain. Goodreads. I'm so sorry, it's Goodreads. A lot of people complain. What is wrong with me? A lot of people complain about Brooklyn herself, about the fact that she faints at the sight of blood, which is actually really funny considering she keeps tripping over dead bodies. There are 14.5 books in this series, and it's still going strong. They're just getting better and better. Because her family just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Her siblings keep getting husbands. She keeps getting friends. Her family gets friends. She gets married. She's got neighbors, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And the books just keep getting more and more lush. And the only thing people can find wrong with it is the fact that Brooklyn faints when she sees blood. They call her a wimp, but the problem is that's a real thing. There are people who faint at the sight of blood. I've known several. And I think if that's one of the only things you can find wrong with a book, I think it's probably pretty good, really. So I've been inhaling the Bibliophile books for a decade. It's funny. Scott actually bought the first book for me for Christmas one time. And he had no idea whether I'd like it or not, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And of course, after I got caught up on that series, I had to visit her others. And so that brought me to the Fixer Upper Mysteries. Now this one, the Fixer Upper Mysteries, they're about Shannon Hammer. And this whole homicide is the first one. And it goes like, something like that. Crowned and moldering is 3, decked the whole ways. I love the titles. Those books are about Shannon Hammer. She lives in, Lighthouse Cove in Northern California. I think we figured out that Kate Carlisle lives in California, just if anybody was wondering. And again, Shannon Hammer she's a contractor. And Lighthouse Cove is predominantly made up of Victorian-style houses. It's a very big tourist town because of that. And Shannon Hammer is a contractor specializing in Victorian houses. And again, she keeps tripping over dead bodies. That's she's having a hard time with it. Well, because she keeps tripping over dead bodies, and that's actually something that's kind of missing in a lot of cozy mysteries. The author never questions the fact that they keep tripping over dead people, even though most people never see a dead body in their life. But I really enjoy the Fixer Upper Mysteries. I'm having a great time with them. I'm actually 6 books in, 7 books. I'm down to the last 2. The next one's coming out in December. And the first book, I actually listened to audiobook, and I don't recommend it. It actually almost made me not visit the next book, because I didn't enjoy the audiobook at all. The reader had trouble with male voices. And other good things about this book. The main character, Shannon Hammer has two love interests. Something that bothers me in in cozy mysteries. These people have 2-3 people interested in them. No, that's not how life works. No, but it works. It works okay here. One of them is the local police chief. The other is a hunky best-selling author. But the problem with two love interests is invariably she always picks the wrong one. The one that you just don't want her to end up with. That's something that's happening in another series of books I'll tell you about next month. But for some reason, it really works with the Shannon Hammer books. And honestly, I think it's because both guys are really likable. They have just as much page time. I want to say screen time, but that's not right. They have as big of a presence in the books as each other. They're both very, very well rounded characters. So you don't feel bad when she does finally choose one. Darn it, it took 7 books. But again, another great thing about this series is the technical aspects. Kate Carlisle, she goes into Shannon Hammer's work. She talks about wood fillers. She talks about hanging drywall, the correct way to hang drywall. She talks about the PPE she requires her people to wear because of dust. And for me, it's endlessly fascinating. But again, it's another thing that people complain about on Goodreads. That they're just too technical. And it doesn't make sense to me. It's a cozy mystery. She's a contractor. What do you want to do? So, but anyway, I love these series. They're both very good, very well-rounded, and they're both still going strong, which makes me very happy. I really like Kate Carlisle. She's a very nice person. She has a very strong presence on Facebook, and she's endlessly approachable, which is just a great thing for these kinds of books, these kinds of series. If you don't like your author, how are you going to like your characters? That's my opinion. I think you have to like your author to really love a series. That's my opinion. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to approach for today. I think I've rambled on enough, don't you? And so that is Kate Carlisle, both of her series. She writes the Bibliophile series and the Fixer Upper series. I can't recommend them enough. They're both great series with a really good protagonist and the people who love them. So that's it. I hope this is helpful. I hope you'll pick up her books and give them a shot because they're really worthy of the read. So I will see you next month for our next Cozy Mystery visit. And I think the next Cozy Mystery author I'm going to be doing is Ellie Alexander. So that should be fun. Anyway, you all have a good day, and we'll see you later. Your books are calling. Go read.